little weird addition that I'm going to make to the Jeep that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys building Jeeps is that, you know, if you take a look in here, Cooper, if you see the Jeep, you know, the way the bed is, we've got a cross member, we've got the side rails of the fenders, we've got a bolt-in tray that comes all the way back to here. So when you bolt in this tray, you're going to draw a line back here. On almost all of them, it's at the back end of this little adhesive pad here. You know, the Jeep adds a lot of you know, a seam sealer on the inside of the car. So right at the end of this seam sealer, you'll see I made a little, you know, 1 inch for the rear tray to bolt down and 1 inch for the front tray to bolt down. And then I left this middle area open. And all I do, and here's your little trick of the day. So I put a little goober down underneath for this tray with the cutout. And if you want one of these, just let me know. If it's not in your kit, I'll make one for you. I bonded this whole piece right there, and then I fill this inside edge pretty heavily with, you know, silicone or windshield adhesive, whatever you want to use, something relatively non-compressible you want to use. And then I take another piece of 1/8 inch material and I put it over the back edge, right about there. And that gives us, I'll push this down. You know, I just use a old piece of C-channel here. So push this down, get it nice and flat, squish out whatever you have, and that'll give your floor something to mount to. So this, obviously, you're not going to leave this on there. But this little surface here, now we can drill rivets for the front piece, because remember, the front piece doesn't have to come out unless you're repairing the emergency brake cables. So the front piece bolts to the front, you seal off the sides, the middle, all the way to the back half of this. You know, split this down the middle. That's going to be the surface that you're riveting for the front tray. And then the back half of this, you can run bolts through that and have your rear tray removable to get to your spare tire. On this particular car, I'm going to rivet everything. So in my case, I'll just put my weights on there, anchor that down for a few minutes, and then I'll install all of my rivets for the front tray and the rear tray. If you're going to run a spare, remember, use the spare tire, use the bolt in the middle, the bolt at the top. You want to put a little pad on the top of that bolt so that it supports the middle of the rear floor. In my case, I'm not going to run a spare, so I won't be doing that. But that's it. I use bolts in the back if I'm removing it, bolts along the side. Use those nylon spacers if you want, you know, on the outside edges of your spare tire well if you want. But the key is, anywhere where you're going to run a rivet or a bolt, make sure you put a little dollop, and I'll do this here as well, just a little golf ball sized or half a golf ball sized dollop. Just to take, you know, that little space that's there when you drop it in place. You're just going to want to make sure you don't get any vibration. So I just put these little pads of adhesive, and then when that semi dries, you know, as that adhesive becomes a little, you know, so it doesn't get all of your fingers, as that dries, I'll set my 2 floors on that and go ahead and I'll rivet the outsides of the tray down in the back, or bolt it if you're going to bolt it. That's it.